So guys, welcome back. It's the 19th of July. I've been out of hospital about a week. Yeah, a week exactly. And look at this blue sky. It's going to be a good one today. So I just wanted to give you a quick update on our backyard veggie plot. So let's start off over here. The blueberries ripening slowly, but getting there now. I think we're going to have to come up with a better strategy against the birds, but look at those. I think I might get those later on, but there's still plenty of fruit on despite the blackbirds. You know, once they know they're there, they'll never leave them alone. But anyway, they're doing great. Asparagus speaks for itself really. The squashes, well, you know, they're growing slowly. Whether there'll be enough time left this year for them to actually develop a fruit, I don't know. The beetroot, fantastic. We're just picking them as and when, but we've got loads of those. Similarly, like the onions, I don't know whether they'll make up, because there was a very slow start, poor seed, poor germination. But there's no leaf miner or white rot as far as I know, so they may do okay. We've got a row of, I staggered my dwarf French beans, so that was one of the last sowings. The Lolo Rosso, well, again, just fantastic, but I think what I need to do is ask my wife if she'll go through and just pull some of these leaves off. They're sort of we can't harvest them quickly enough really, so if we pull more leaves off, it'll just keep them growing producing longer. Two little gem. These are the Paris silver skin onions. They're looking good. A late sowing a radish just squeezed in. I had one of these white turnips yesterday. Absolutely beautiful. Really, really good. So tender. So they were multi-sown, but they're all, you know, they're doing fantastic. There's a little kind of row of spring onions crammed in there as well. So I think they'll come later on. I'll spin you around, working backwards. Showed you the kale, but that's, I mean, look at it, it's fab. So we really need to start harvesting some of that now. And then this bed here is the summer cabbage. It was netted, and I took the net off because, as you can see, that one's got a bit to go yet, but they're really developing some beautiful hearts. And I was sort of thinking, well, there's been one or two cabbage whites flying, but by the time their caterpillars have started to do any real damage, I think these will be harvested, more or less. So they're a mixture of pointed, you know, like ground style, might be ground, I don't know, and the ball head is primo. So they're looking fab. And then we've got another little row of multi-sown beets in here, which will come later on. And then a whole bunch of that white turnip again. Multi-sown, as you can see. Far too many for me, to be honest. I'll see if my mate wants any. Let's have a quick look in the frame. So there's my Savoy cabbage there. And there's those little peppers. I don't think they'll come to anything. Anyway, no problem with that. We've got some more courgettes coming somewhere here. One there. One next to it. And there's three on that one. I think I can see one that's just rotted because it probably didn't get pollinated, so we need to get that cut off. And spin you around again. So the French beans, this was the first sort of block planted out here, and you can see they are setting beans now, so I don't know, probably another couple of weeks maybe. And then you can see the sort of transition where there was later staggered sowings, so these ones at the end just sort of starting to develop some flower buds, so that way it gives you a nice succession. There's not everything sort of coming at once. And then again some little multi-sown radishes just here squeezed in. The Monge 2 peas, we've picked off them now probably about 6 pickings, and there's still plenty to come. You can see this was the first little row, the first row here, and you notice the colour. You know, it's started to go over now, but then I put this second sowing in, and it's much, you know, you can see it's got tons of flowers on. So we're going to get another picking for about, I would say, another 4 weeks off that, no problem, which is really cool. And then we've got the carrots over there, which we're just going to thin as and when, really, which is, I know it's not the right thing to do, but given the circumstances, that's just how it is. But this is look at this. This has got to be the star of the show at the moment, this wonderful tree lily. I mean, my sense of smell, as you know, isn't brilliant, but I can smell it from here. It's amazing. That's the best it's ever been, and worth waiting for, I can tell you. It's about getting on for 6 foot high nearly. Fabulous. Okay, so it's 28.2 degrees C in here. We've got the vent open a bit and the door we just leave open. But yeah, everything's doing alright. These 2 little red cherries at the end my mate gave me, I mean, the trusses are huge, massive trusses on them. Don't know if you can see down there, there's some ripe, so we're just starting to pick them now, and then the rest is just Crimson Crush. And well, if you know Crimson Crush, you know it's a big fruit, very tasty. It's blight resistant, it's vigorous plant, you know, it grows strongly. So for that reason, that's why I've grown it at least for the last 6 years, I think it is. Really do like it. And yeah, the little peppers, you can see, can you see that? We have peppers. They're not the big bell peppers, but any pepper is welcome, to be honest. You know, it's all a crop, isn't it? So, and then the basil is just, yeah, that's done really well. We just keep trying to clip it back, trying to keep it going. And this smaller stuff was later sowing, so obviously if that runs over, we've got these smaller ones to keep us going. But all's good in there. This is the other tree lily. So we rescued these when we decided to change the whole garden, and dug out what we thought we had. So we put these in this pot down here, and they're not as big as the ones I just showed you previously, but they're still beautiful though. And the herb bed, you know, the mint. We've got rosemary, chives down the back somewhere. There. They're all burnt. These are my fig cuttings. And now a little rose border. We need to deadhead some of that today, really. So all in all, it's doing very well. Thrown a little bit of a net, best we could, over the fig. I need to really get this down in height next year. It's too big. But if I can just show you, look at these. Can you see those? They're massive. I'm going to be ripening any time, so I'm really looking forward to those. But yeah, there's stacks of fruit on it. One more things to show you. This kiwi vine, I've mentioned it a few times. Excuse me. And the strategy of constant summer pruning, I think, is working. So that one there coming out, for example, I'll just remove that completely. And these new growths, such as this one, what I do is I go back about 1, 2, 3 leaves and then cut it, and then next year that'll hopefully carry fruit buds. But as you see, it's not. Last year the whole thing came sort of completely over and smothered this entire area. So I think with that strategy of, you know, just keep summer pruning and pinching back, I think that definitely is working. I'll continue, you know, I'm going to carry on with that. With the codling moth trap, I put a second refill in, and I'm hoping you can see, I think there's about 3, maybe 4 moths. So even though the weather's gone back to being pretty cool and below average, you know, they're still flying around. When we get anything near close to average of a night time, they're still coming out. So it's just as well that you know, if you've got a refill, get it in now. So just one more thing really before I close. Before I went into hospital, it was a snap decision. I mean, literally, I think it was like the day before. The weather wasn't too bad, and I went down to the orchard to have a look at the elephant garlic, and I decided, I think I've tried 1 or 2, and I thought this needs to come out now, and I'm glad I did, because I think it would have gone over had I left it. So this here is just a few that had a little bit of white rot on. There was a little bit of white rot, and but it wasn't, how can I put it, you know, it didn't encompass the whole bulb. So I thought I can salvage that. So I brought it home, and there's some pretty decent size cloves. So all that there is healthy, and that's around. You can see where it was, but I mean, if you peel that, that's still usable. You can see where it's kind of. So I would never store that. I wouldn't plant it again. Just use it, but it's usable. So these bits here will get used. Those bits I can use for seed, you know, to replant this autumn, which I probably will. But the bulk of the crop is drying out underneath a rack down on the orchard. So when I'm able to, hopefully I will show you, you know, how it didn't do too badly actually. It's done pretty good. But I'm not allowed to do anything physical, you know, I've got to really take things gradually. So I will show you anyway. Guys, that's it. Thanks very much for your patience and understanding, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.